You are listening to the Collective Podcast in Agreement. I am your host, Juan T, and you are listening to Bastame, the River, Oklahoma Diss, baby.
Ain't that. Shut the up. Y'all don't even know. All y'all talk about is UT ain't this, UT ain't no hitter, UT a fake. Shut the up.
7 beats.
Woo! Got this anger that been brewing up inside of me. Think it's time for the Red River rivalry. Y'all got collar that's real cool, that's real cute. Gonna be real nice when he throw a pick too. Get your IQ up, boy, pay attention. Sick of hearing y'all talk about the white and crimson. Cause we gon' leave it burnt. Y'all might wanna turn this down, it's gon' hurt. Got 61 wins to your 46. Numbers don't match, these are facts that you can't dismiss. Like Stoops and the problems that he had with his troops back at 16. And my 16's coming real mean to your whole team. Grab the benzene, let's speak on Barry Switzer. He was cool players, doing a lot more to roller switches are. Now I'm getting vicious, I probably shouldn't get up in this, but I'm committed like the players that you bribe. Welcome to my Dodge Drive, this is do or die. I ain't scared of pressure, this is where I rise. Unlike the guys on the other side, yeah, I'm talking marquees. Can't wait to see them hands flop when it's marquee. Oh me, oh my, I just dug myself a hole with all these guys, but it's cool cause I'm cold, drop ice out just to throw chills down they soul, homie. You already know when them horns go up, it's a dub. It's a dub. Y'all should be afraid of us. Someone read a sermon to Trey, cause he gon' need to pray if he rushing our way. Nah, not today. Like, I ain't wanna really play with all the rumors. I ain't wanna really mess with all them sooners. Love to see y'all think you're important. Boy, stop acting tough, you living Norman. Cock back, kill shot when I aim it. Y'all can have 4 quarters, but the outcome ain't changing. Standing ovation from the people that never evaded or debated our greatness through any situation we made it. Now I'm turning into an animal Hannibal, but I ain't talking burns, cause we shooting at the gate, boy, I'm talking turns. No, you heard it, but you coward, cause you cowards, and I can't wait to light the tower. Y'all ain't got Baker's got teeth to save you no more. No more. I'll be laughing, watching your sadness pointing towards the scoreboard. And this ain't luck, it's by design. And we'll see what happens in due time. Cause after this game, put a number by your name, going back like your coach's handline. Good lord, that's cold. Got dogs in the front line, y'all a bunch of felines that are on the decline. This a game to define legacy, and none of y'all next to me sweating me, especially when I be ripping it apart from the jump. Stopping on you like a mad boy, we coming for the hat. Had to put us on the map when it's all said and done. Y'all already started this week going 1.
They started an old one. So, oh my God. So I debated when to do this song. I actually was going to do this last week, but I was really on that Logic track, so I decided to push this. Plus, it'd be easier or funner, better even, to play a diss track after the game had we had won. For the record, I had no faith we were going to win that game. So shame on me. But this just worked out so much better. What's happening? What's happening, y'all? Bruh, 5-1? 5-1. I feel confident and comfortable saying that I had no faith in that game because no one else did. I mean, there was a few people that were like, maybe we might be able to pull it off. No one had faith. And no one in hell that's a UT fan thought we'd be 5-1 at this point. I'm going to take a drink to that. Goddamn. Oh, man. Whiskey? Dude. So, all in, yo, that was probably the best I've ever seen UT's offense rumble. Was in that game. I'm blown away by that whole game. The play calling, the scheme, the execution. That's like that's for those who play Madden. Like, that's just when everything's working. Everything you're dialing up is just up first. That's first. Up third, short. First, like that's one of those games you can't go wrong. And we looked great from the first quarter to the third quarter. It was the best first 3 quarters that UT has ever played this season so far. That fourth quarter was a whole other situation. Like here's the reality of what happened, right? Fourth quarter, Oklahoma reminded us that they were still a good team, right? If Kyler Murray is the fastest fuckstick on this planet, right? I mean, looking through that game, Kyler Murray's stat line was 19 for 26, 304, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 11 carries for 92 yards, 1 touchdown, and a fumble. Like, the dude did everything really fucking well. There was a lot of things he didn't do wrong, minus the fumble and the pick, which the fumble, that was just a dumb thing on him. I think that was just him trying to do entirely too much. Or maybe after kind of looking at that sack again, I think it was more of he was just fumbling and bumbling to the ground and that was the only thing he could put down to brace himself was the ball. Very dumb. He should have just took the sack. But that's what happens with playmakers, right? Playmakers in big time games try to make plays, and sometimes it's a gamble. That's not knocking him at all. That's all playmakers, NFL, college, Heisman winners, whatever. At some point of being a dynamic player, you're gonna make a dynamic mistake, and it just comes with the territory. But that is not to knock Kyler Murray. That man, I'd hate to be any team playing Oklahoma moving forward because they pissed. One thing I didn't realize until I started my research or just kind of doing my homework or whatever for this game or for this podcast is that I had to go back and look. This was Kyler Murray's first loss as a starter. And I could be wrong at some point. I don't know if and this is just taking his high school into college career. But I don't think he has many losses on his belt, if any at all. Because I definitely heard an announcer talking about that. And in the interview, the Oklahoma press conference after the game, it was kind of brought up then as well. So that's a very interesting take. I'm curious to see how he bounces back. Getting that loss and in this fashion, after you played a hell of a game, you brought your team back in the fourth quarter. You yourself, which is funny to say, Kyler Murray did everything in his power to win and lose that game. He did that well. And for that, I like to talk about the GOAT, Sam Ehlinger. Oh my God. 24 for 35, 314 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. Then he remembered how to run. Or they remembered, hey, he can run his ass off. Or maybe they just telling him, hey, if it's not there and you don't see anything, just use your feet. And he does that well. 19 carries for 72 yards and 3 touchdowns on it. That quarterback counter in the end zone, in the red zone, is like money at this point. Run that shit all day. And it's funny because the people that are blocking, like Keontae Ingram had a significant block in two of the touchdowns that Ehlinger ran. One, he blew the guy up, and the other one, he could just hold his block like a champ. Excuse me, guys. I keep coughing today. Yeesh. Oh, man. Maybe whiskey can help. Maybe a little bit. Anyway, Sam Ehlinger had a fantastic day. The wide receiver duos killed it. I mean, I can't say enough about little Jordan Humphreys and Colin Johnson. Those two guys, again, I'm still arguing to say that they might be the best 1-2 punch in Big 12. When you go and look at the stat line, because you hear a lot of them talking about Oklahoma had the 2 best receivers in the league. You look stat line, our 1s and 2s are fucking identical. They are the exact same stat line, minus maybe 4 or 5 yards here or there. But absolutely goon fest with those 2 guys. BJ Foster, man, oh my God. I love it when you see something in somebody in the spring game and you've seen it. I saw it so much in the spring game, and I talk about it every time I talk about BJ Foster, that BJ Foster is just everywhere. Where the ball is, he is there. He figures out a way to plug himself in. He figures out a way to shed tackles. He figures out a way to just be a baller out there on defense, and he does it week in and week out every time he's in. BJ Foster had a hell of a game, 5 solo tackles with a sack as well. And I think he had 2 tackles for a loss as well. He's just everywhere the quarterback wants to be with the ball. He's the American Express, and I love it. Maybe that should be his nickname. BJ Foster, American Express. He's everywhere you want to be. Coin that. You can take that one. That one's free. I give it to you for free. Texas defense, again, saves the day and almost costs the game. But, again, with a game like this, man, I really want to be super negative about some things because I'm just realizing this now as I get older. I'm literally turning into that grumpy ass old man that tries to find something wrong in every positive just so I can stay even keel about the whole damn thing, because you had we had a fucking decade of heartbreak with Texas, so it's really hard for me to just forget the past and we're good, don't worry about it, nah, fuck that. It hurts, so I can't get too high on it. But this game, the thing that people will talk about is the fourth quarter collapse, where Our offense stalled out twice, and Oklahoma answered on all three of their scoring drives. In a game like this, man, I can't blame the defense as much as some should. I mean, we did give up 40-something fucking points, which is a lot. But, I mean, they were literally, our defense has just been playing their ass off the whole game. And Oklahoma is not by any means a pushover. This is a team with a lot of speed. We knew coming into this game that you're talking about a team that scores by big plays, which means in a matter of seconds, you turn your eye, one missed block, and it was a wrap. And we seen that in that fourth quarter. A lot of times it was just somebody got picked up off a block and couldn't get around, one missed tackle here, and gone. And they'll make you pay, and that's exactly what they did. So Oklahoma was exactly who we thought they were. Texas was not what Oklahoma thought we were. Not what I thought we were. I was impressed. I was extremely impressed. I love now with this Texas defense, one thing I find myself watching more and more is the safety play. I love watching what Todd Orlando does with the defensive backs, more so the safeties. They move around a lot. They give you looks like they're playing down on the line of scrimmage and then fade back, or the whole team will shift, and we'll run a lot of this single high safety formation. We just have one safety back there wreaking havoc, fucking shit up. And the great thing with that is where we get a lot of our picks. If you go back and you watch, it was 2 weeks ago against TCU, Caden Stearns went off playing this same kind of show blitz or show middle of the line, playing like you're a linebacker, fade back before the ball is snapped, and you play that over the top, kind of lurking, watching everything that's going on. And a lot of his reactions were just that. He knew his assignments. He didn't get swept up. He doesn't get swept up in a lot of play actions. He's a very smart safety. And you see now the same thing in Brandon Jones, given the pick that he had in this last week, was the same deal. He just lurked back. He stayed on top of all the coverage to watch what was going on. And he has the foot speed to make up for however far off he's playing or any kind of mistakes that the corners might be making, which makes him very lethal out here on this defense. And watching that, and now you're seeing that progression of him moving forward through the season, just like with Caden Stearns, you're seeing it, that these guys are real. With Caden Stearns, Brandon Jones, and BJ Foster in the backfield at playing secondary, I don't want to go up against that. No one wants to go up against that. It's absolutely insane. But kudos to that. That's one of the things that I'm finding myself really looking forward to each week, is that now my game ball is it should go to Cameron Dicker. It's currently going to the entire offense. Again, we have been very hard on Texas all season, rightfully so, especially fans who've been with Texas for a while, the Major Applewhite days, the Roy Williams and Ricky days. But, you know, we've been waiting for this team to wake the hell up and be who their draft class has been, or their recruiting class has been. We've been expecting big things from this team every year going into the season, with Charlie and with Tom even. And, you know, the first season losses to Maryland kind of puts you into a tailspin, right? And myself, like many others, after that first loss, were like, well, here we go again. Here is the team that we have. Fantastic. Blame the O coordinator. Blame the quarterback. Blame the running backs. Blame anybody we could blame to just make us feel better. That's what we did. And I was on that bandwagon of fire Tim Beck. He's the worst offensive coordinator. Can't believe he's calling these plays. It's so slow. It's so anemic. Now, let's say in this game as well, that is Todd Herman calling the plays. To me, it has been proven that there's too many T's. I say this every season. There's Todd, Tim, and Tom, and it's just entirely too much. There was a lot of T's in that sentence. It's just, I don't like it. But Tim Beck, to me, has shown value. Watching that offense, the offense had rhythm. It was firing off. We were taking the same plays that we do, and we're adding wrinkles to it. We're taking the little Jordan Humphrey direct snap wildcat and make it look like a run, and we're doing the Tim Tebow jump pass. We're peppering in every week a running back pass or a jet sweep pass, some form of that, which I find is hilarious, because we keep running it and we keep gaining success off of it. I hope that never bites us in the ass, but we keep gaining yards when we call this play, and I'm loving that. I mean, watching the creativity in this offense, I never would have ever thought, if you gave me money 4 years ago and said, do you think you'll ever hear creativity come out of your mouth in regards to UT's offense, I would have told you no. The most creative thing that we've seen in the past 4 or 5 years come out of this offense was the 18-wheeler package, which was just a bunch of big men running the ball. And it was just power over. It was like the old school eye. It was just power. That's all we were running. And that was the most creative thing UT's ever came up with. We were so not creative that we never thought once to, or let me not say once, we never thought to continuously try to throw out of that package to keep the defense honest. That was the demise of this team. The success and the demise was the fucking 18-wheeler package. But anyway, I digress. I am impressed watching this offense when they get in rhythm and things start popping off. And again, and I'll say it every week because he's my hero, Keontae Ingram still played fantastic, absolutely fantastic. What I am liking now that we are, about to approach the midseason spot here, is that Texas has figured out how to work these backs, how to work Keontae Ingram and Trey Watson and find a place for Trey Watson in this offense that still makes him useful and still brings in Keontae. I like to, this is coming to my mind as we're talking in this podcast. It's almost like watching, not as explosive, but almost like the Saints offense, how you have Keontae Ingram will bruise you up the middle. He'll bounce it outside as well. And Trey Watson's your swing route. He's your second slot receiver on plays. He's your safety blanket. He's your toss guy. He's your small kind of slip through things, and that's kind of where they're starting to utilize him. He's playing that perfect small man running back position, like Darren Sproles or Danny Woodhead. And these things that I'm seeing that Texas is running, it makes me excited for this offense and bringing back my trust in Tom Herman in this offense, and I'm really impressed with that. My last guy on this game, my last little nugget, I got to give it up to Big Kick Dicker, man. I feel like that should be his name moving forward, Big Kick Dicker. You can figure out the wordplay on that. The dude is, oh man, I've never been more confident in that guy on that last kick, and it had a lot to do with, of course, you see the gift, or the little video clip anyway of they showing him on the sideline and he's just smiling and he gives a little head nod. What I'm mad that isn't surfacing is this few seconds before that clip, there's like they have the camera on him before the drive goes, and someone's looking at him and he literally gives him a wink like before the game. And I thought, I was like, dude, the kid is having the time of his life and is about to get out there and kick the most important kick of his current collegiate career. And knowing that he already had kicking problems from earlier in the season, it didn't faze him. He was just like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and kick this ball, win this game, no big deal. And that's exactly what he did. So Big Kick Dicker, you a G in my book, bro. You're invited to the Black Person Barbecue. You in. Moving out of this game, looking now into this back half of the schedule for Texas, this is tough. This back half of the schedule, like if I had to break our schedule apart and kind of categorize it all, the first half was the gauntlet. Before knowing how these teams were, before actually playing these teams, looking at USC, that shit was a toss-up. Preseason was like, okay, we might not beat them. They were really good. We could. It was 50-50, but trust me, the odds were not in our favor going into that game. And then you look at TCU the week after, of which 4 years straight we've lost to, and I'm like, well, shit, that's going to be a tough one. There was no one, again, was in our corner thinking, okay, we could beat these guys. We fought the big dogs early, and then follow that up with Oklahoma, with K-State, in K-State, which everybody knows how that went down, and the history that was behind that game. And then we follow it with fucking Oklahoma, which again was a program that was firing on all cylinders. That preseason, there's like, okay, well, that's a loss. So a lot of us were hoping to get to this point when we played Oklahoma 2-2. There were many that predicted worst case scenario that we would just have beat Maryland and nothing else. And then we lose to Maryland, like, okay, well, now a realistic conversation could be we could just be fucking 0-5 going into, playing OU. So it was tough because of who we were playing. And now we have this back end of this schedule that is truly like a fuck, man. The best. All right. So here's the thing with this back half. The back half of the schedule are people who have something to fucking prove. These are the ones who just have nothing to lose when you go to play them, right? These are people that were never considered to be the elite. None of these guys are on any projections of a national championship running -1, but even then people are like, they'll fall off. But you look at Baylor, who's recovering, who's 4-2, who I'll talk to a little bit here in a minute, who looks damn good. Oklahoma State, which, Oklahoma State is never a pushover, nor is that an easy game at all. I know they're missing Baker Mayfield, Mason Rudolph. But trust me, that team can still beat us if we don't come with our pants on that day. They'll make sure that we leave with no pants on. You take that analogy however you want. West Virginia is scary good. And I'll touch on West Virginia a little before the show ends. And then TCU is just a high-powered offense. But again, not the best and not the worst. And West Virginia is the best of that set. But again, all people who have something to fucking prove. Iowa State. Oh, man, dude. Iowa State, if y'all have been watching Iowa State for the past few years, you know that Iowa State has been gaining momentum. They have been figuring out how to play football in the Big 12. And again, I look at Iowa State as more of like a K-State now than, a shitty bottom-tier team. And then you have KU who, they're not quite there yet. They're 2-4, much like K-State. But they're trying to figure it out. They're doing the right things. And again, this is a team that not long ago we lost to. So K-State, who also, by the way, today fired their offensive coordinator, they're making a surge to try to be somebody, and that's tough. So you look at this back half again. This is why I label this back half of the schedule are just a bunch of teams with nothing to lose. It's like the damn dog pound. You're going to go in and we might not come out clean. I hope to God we come out clean because we need to run this table to really shock the world here. But let's back up and not get ahead of ourselves. And let's look at this Baylor versus UT. Ooh, Baylor scares me a little bit. Not going to lie to you. Baylor is a team that does a lot of things well that I don't think gets enough credit. So if you look at the Big 12 rankings and just the Big 12 play, or the teams in Big 12, Baylor is ranked in the top 5 pretty much in all of the Big 12 passing stats and passing offense. And pretty much, let me rephrase that. In almost all offensive stats, Baylor ranks in the top 5. The only thing that they're not the top 5 in is rushing yards. They're 6 on that. They have the 4th best sacking defense in the Big 12. They are number 1 in first downs, and they are 2nd in red zone offense. This is a team that knows how to score. They know how to sack. They bring, from looking at just this stat line, I have not watched a single Baylor game all year. I saw the highlights of Baylor K-State, and that kind of gave me joy a little bit watching because I realized that maybe I was a little high on them. But still looking at this team, this stat shows that this is a team that can make turnovers happen. Or not turnovers, let me phrase that. They can sack you and put you in situations where you're giving that ball back. They can disrupt the backfield, it seems like, very easily because they're double-digit sacks for the season. And with their offense, just don't give them a short field to work with. You give them a short field to work with, they're putting the ball in the end zone. And they will air your ass out. So I'm really looking forward to playing Baylor, to seeing what kind of comes from this. Now, my recipe on how to beat Baylor, this is very simple. Run a clean game. Play a mistake-free, penalty-free game, and we're going to come out of here with a win. Baylor is an opportunistic team. They will take any opportunity you give them. You give a turnover, they'll shock and awe you. You shank a punt, they'll make you pay for it. Like little things like that you can't do against Baylor. You have to just come out and play a fundamentally sound game, and I feel confident because we're playing them here at home that we should be able to put paws all over them. But it's a very, oh man, it's not going to be easy. But again, if we can keep that, and the other part, not just playing a clean game, the other great stat line about Baylor is dead last in rushing defense. Run the damn ball. Like, I'm going to need Sam to get another 19, 20 carries. I'm going to need Ingram to do the same. Every running back should be getting carries in this game because that is how you beat Baylor. You run the damn ball down their throat as much as you possibly can. You just keep doing it. They're third in pass defense, by the way. So with that being their fourth in sacks and third in passing, those things kind of come synonymous, right? Like if you can get pressure, you'll stop passes, and that's how they're doing it. So we just run the damn ball, run this shit down their throat till they load the box, and then we air that ass out. That's going to be the game plan for me, Mr. Tim Beck, going into this game is run the rock, pound it down their throat, literally until they start respecting it and loading the box. And as soon as they load the box, you start airing that ass out, throwing these bombs, get Colin Johnson and little Jordan Humphreys the rock and let them spin. You know, that's what I'm expecting from this Baylor game. Before I wrap the show up, I want to go back because there is one, now that we've gone through the gauntlet of scheduling, gauntlet of games, there's one fucking team that is really scaring the shit out of me. And that's West Virginia. West Virginia, in my opinion, is now the next big hurdle. And this is not to try to overlook Tech, because again, Tech is that team that's infamous to just shit all over our fucking parade, man. We can win these whole things out and we get to Tech and we will fuck around and lose to Tech, and we play Tech at Lubbock, which sucks. I'm not looking forward to playing Tech in Lubbock, but you know, fuck it. It is what it is. But anyway, my fault. West Virginia is currently like leading in almost all of the stats on the Big 12. If you look up things for West Virginia, the few things that West Virginia is not, as a team, not ranked either number 2 or number 4 at is scoring offense. Scoring offense, they're 4. Okay. In scoring defense, they're number 1 in scoring defense. In rush defense, they're number 2. In pass offense, they're number 2. In pass defense, they're number 2. In total offense, they're number 2. In total defense, they're number 2. In pass efficiency, they're number 2. In pass defense efficiency, they're number 2. Rushing offense, here we go. They are number 8. They're human. But for me, that worries me. That really worries me, because that's the complete team that we still haven't faced yet. It's not Oklahoma. It's not TCU. It's no one else that we've played so far. It's not USC. The most complete team that we are going to have to play is West Virginia, and I am so grateful the planets have aligned and we don't have to take our ass down there to Morgantown. We can come right here to DKR and play West Virginia. That's the game. If you're wondering what's another great game this year to go pick up and see before the season's out, this is the one. I've already bought tickets. I'm going to be there because I want to see this game with my eyeballs, because I firmly believe if we can get out of West Virginia with a win, we can win out the Big 12. We can win out the Big 12 and Breckenhager can cut his damn hair. that's going to be the end of the show. I'm your boy Juan T. You've been listening to Collective Podcasting Agreement. I'm going to bring back this diss track. Y'all holla at your boy. I love y'all. I'll be back next week. Peace.
Y'all got collar that's real cool, that's real cute. Gonna be real nice when he throw a pick too. Get your IQ up, boy, pay attention. Sick of hearing y'all talk about the white and crimson. Cause we gon' leave it burnt. Y'all might wanna turn this down, it's gon' hurt. Got 61 wins, see a 46. Numbers don't match, these are facts that you can't dismiss. Like Stoops and the problems that he had with his troops back at 16. And my 16's coming real mean to your whole team. Grab the benzene, let's speak on Barry Switzer. He was cool players, doing a lot more to roller switches are. Now I'm getting vicious, I probably shouldn't get up in this, but I'm committed like the players that you bribe. Welcome to my Dodge Drive, this is do or die. I ain't scared of pressure, this is where I rise. Unlike the guys on the other side, yeah, I'm talking marquees. Can't wait to see them hands flop when it's marquee. Oh me, oh my, I just dug myself a hole with all these guys, but it's cool cause I'm cold, drop ice out just to throw chills down they soul, homie. You already know when them horns go up, it's a dub. It's a dub. Y'all should be afraid of us. Someone read a sermon to Trey, cause he gon' need to pray if he rushing our way. Nah, not today. Like, I ain't wanna really play with all the rumors. I ain't wanna really mess with all them sooners. Love to see y'all think you're important. Boy, stop acting tough, you living Norman. Cock back, kill shot when I aim it. Y'all can have 4 quarters, but the outcome ain't changing. Standing ovation from the people that never evaded or debated our greatness through any situation we made it. Now I'm turning into an animal Hannibal, but I ain't talking burns, cause we shooting at the gate, boy, I'm talking turns. No, you heard it, but you coward, cause you cowards, and I can't wait to light the tower. Y'all ain't got Baker's got teeth to save you no more. I'll be laughing, watching your sadness pointing towards the scoreboard. And this ain't luck, it's by design. And we'll see what happens in due time. Cause after this game, put a number by your name, going back like your coach's handline. Good lord, that's cold. Got dogs in the front line. Y'all a bunch of felines that are on the decline. This a game to define legacy. And none of y'all next to me sweating me, especially when I be ripping it apart from the jump. Stopping on you like a mad boy. We coming for the hat. Had to put us on the map when it's all said and done. Y'all already started this week going 1. Little boy.